Welcome to Hungary. This is Pastor Steve Cioccolanti. Hungary is one of the oldest nations on earth or in Europe. It's 1,000 years old. There was a Christian missionary who came here, and the first time he preached here, they put him in a barrel which was spiked with nails, and they rolled him down a hill. Obviously, he was spiked to death, and that was the beginning. But after that, they did become Christian, and they fought many wars against Islamic invasion. This is not something new to them. It's not theory to them. In fact, when they were being invaded by the Ottoman Turks, they tried to send message to the Western European nations and say, come and help us. And they didn't believe. They were having their grand balls and living it up, and they didn't believe what was happening in Hungary until it was too late. Finally, the Ottoman Turks pushed all the way up to Vienna, and that's where they were defeated in the Battle of Vienna on the 11th of September, 1683. Unfortunately, they left Vienna, but they continued to occupy parts of modern-day Hungary. And so they were under that oppressive rule in which the Ottoman Turks would kidnap Christian children, train them into, to be child soldiers in their armies to fight their wars. And there was a lot of breaking up of the families, a lot of tragedies, children being ripped from their mother's arms to go serve in the Islamic, expansion wars. So they continued to fight for 170 years after the Battle of Vienna, and they have very bitter memories about what happened here. So this is why Viktor Orban stands for Christian civilization, Christian culture in Hungary, and he's trying to get this message out into the world. I'm in Budapest, Hungary. Just want to introduce you guys to this beautiful city. It's so important for many reasons, but let's just start off with history. This is the place where Theodor Herzl, the leader of the Zionist Congress, was born. In fact, this was one of the safest places for Jews to live, was Budapest, Hungary. It houses the third largest Jewish population, certainly at the time before World War II. I think a third of the city was Jewish, and then after the Holocaust, still today there's 100,000 Jews here that are very well integrated into the society, live very well among the Gentiles here, and so a pretty special place for the Jews. There wouldn't be Israel today without Theodor Herzl in Budapest. So pretty important. Also, notoriously, this is where George Soros was born. He and his family came out of Budapest, Hungary. Also, you have John von Neumann, who was part of the Manhattan Project. Basically, he invented the digital computer, and he helped invent the atom bomb. So this place is just rich, full of history that a lot of maybe the Western church, the Western Christians, Western world in general may not be thinking about, but it's really important. It's beautiful as well. Let me just show you that on the one side there, if you just look on this side, all right, that is called Buda. So Buda is this side where the beautiful Parliament building is there, and then across the Danube River is Pest. All right, so you got Budapest, and when they joined together, it became Budapest. So we're here, and I'm going to be speaking at the largest evangelical church in Europe. So you might be surprised that the largest evangelical church in Europe is here in Hungary, but it's got over 100,000 members. It's got 200 church plants in this nation. It's had a real positive effect around the surrounding nations like Czech and Slovakia. It has a great cultural impact. It's got its own secular newspaper. It owns its own secular TV station. A lot of the church members actually are the leaders working in that area. And also, it's had an impact in government. So for people who say that Christians should not be influencing culture, well, you haven't lived under communism, you haven't lived under tyranny. For these guys, freedom was everything. And when they could fight for freedom, they fought. And when the Iron Curtain came down in 1989, the Christians here did as much as possible to create a free society and even change the law. So they were instrumental in forming an opposition political party, which no longer exists today, but at that time it was functioning, it was influential, and they actually wrote the religious law for the new democracy. And so what was the effect? This evangelical church was then recognized, and all other denominations by this law was recognized on par with the Lutheran Church, the Catholic Church, the established churches. And this is really important, that we take our Christianity in the end time to fight for freedom. We stand for freedom, and when there's political freedom, then there's freedom to preach the gospel. And you can see here the gospel is reaching out everywhere through all sorts of different media and cultural touch points. It's just wonderful to be here in Hungary and to be a part of this great move of God here.